Hey everybody, Kowalski here, checking in with another one of our hashtag Star Trek Discovery Discussions videos. Today we're going to be talking about a bunch of the news that was dropped during the Comic-Con 2017 panel that was taking place just a couple of days ago, that included some of the production staff and most of the actors that will be in the new series. Before we get started, I do want to go ahead and throw up the fact that there will be spoilers, confirmed spoilers, for the new show Star Trek Discovery. So if you do not want to be exposed to any of that stuff, please go ahead and click out of this video and go ahead and jump into a different video on the channel. I'll go ahead and give you a few moments to do that now. Okay, so we're just going to kind of run through the gambit as much as we possibly can because a lot of stuff has come out. So I'm going to give the highlights and then my opinions on them towards the end of the video. So first things up is the fact that Michael Burnham, the character played by Sonequa Martin Green, will be Spock's adopted sister. Apparently Sarek, after being married to a human woman, he's going to then adopt a human child. Now there's not clear why he's doing this. It's not clear necessarily how these two particular characters, Sarek and Michael Burnham, cross paths, but it has been confirmed that she is in fact Spock's adopted sister. Also from the panel, we learned that Captain Lorca, or is it Lorca, played by Jason Isaacs, will in fact be quote-unquote rather rough and rugged and apparently rather rude around the edges, aka he's going to be kind of a dick in the show, is what I'm gathering. Another bit of news, which is rather not surprising, the openly gay character being played by Anthony Rapp will in fact have a love interest. He's going to be obviously that's going to be a gay relationship, and that's going to be Star Trek's first openly gay relationship for men that's been featured inside of one of the main cast members for a Star Trek series. And then we also have a quote by Alex Kurtzman. I'll go ahead and read this to you guys right now. Obviously, we wanted to be accurate. We are within canon. There are raging debates all day in the writer's room among all the writers and producers about what is within canon and what's not, and what we can do technically. But he says, quote, again, we are consistent with Star Trek's origins. So he also went on in a separate interview stating that they will not be utilizing any beta canon sources. So that includes video games, comic books, and basically anything other than the TV shows or the movies will not be considered as canon. They've also gone on record, Alex Kurtzman went on record in saying that the events that will be taking place, that's the entire show is focused around, will be the first Klingon Federation war, even though from the established canon that we have online currently, this time frame doesn't exactly match up with that, but that is where we are headed currently. Also up on the docket, we have information that the Klingons will most likely be speaking Klingon throughout the show, so fans can expect to see a lot of subtitles being represented throughout the 15-episode run for Season 1 and possibly even seasons as we continue on. They did talk a lot about, during their Comic-Con panel, about how they wanted to redesign and basically reinvent the Klingons from the ground up, and they wanted to, quote, have a Klingons that have their own pride, interests, and talents with a very fascinating culture. They were also quoted in saying that they wanted Klingons to be sleek and sexy. Now, I'm not sure what a sexy Klingon looks like, but that's what they were talking about. And finally, we also have word that composer Jeff Rousseau, who previously worked on the Fargo television series and American Gothic, will be producing all of the music for all the 15 episodes that we are going to be seeing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and provide some of the responses to these inputs. We'll start with the easier ones first and then get to the more difficult ones towards the end. The first one about the openly gay, male gay couple. Whatever, I don't care. I just expected that to happen once they announced that they were going to have an openly gay character, so that's, honestly not that big of a deal. Captain Lorca being an asshole, that's kind of expected when you cast Jason Isaacs. He's always kind of played dickheads in movies. I think he's a fantastic and phenomenal actor, and I cannot wait to see him on the bridge of the Discovery. But he typically plays kind of dickhead characters, so that's kind of expected, I think, for his character as well, so I'm not too surprised to hear that. The composer, obviously, being chosen. I mean, I like the TV show Fargo. I actually really like the music in there, so I'm fine with that decision as well. No complaints here personally. Them revamping the Klingon culture. This is, I know, still a very widely debated topic among Trek fans, and just by fans of this YouTube channel. I read, like I say all the time, I read every comment, and I see that it's very, very polarizing. People either are super excited about it or they really hate it. I don't know how I feel about the Klingons in terms of their acting capability and what kind of stories and how they're going to be represented in the show. I did talk a lot about in my Comic-Con review, where I went through a lot of the props that they released, images of and stuff like that, that I really do like the props that the Klingons are going to be wearing. So I still don't know exactly how I feel about the redesign of their interests and talents and how they're quote-unquote sexy Klingons. I don't know if that's going to play off well, but I'm going to reserve my judgment on that until the show comes out. So we'll see how that goes down. And then we come to the final two big items. Obviously, Sonequa Martin Green's character, Michael Burnham, being Sarek's adopted daughter and Spock's adopted sister, you know, almost like a stepsister. I don't really know how I feel about this. It just seems kind of like, come on. Like, I don't know. It just, at this point, I feel like maybe we're taking too many member berries, and we're just constantly rehashing and trying to connect to things that were old. I wish we would kind of get away from that. In fact, I was never a big fan of having Sarek in the show because, again, I knew they were going to try to tie in, oh, you know, Spock and this and that, and they were going to try to do these things. And then once I saw the teaser that Sarek and a younger Michael Burnham were talking, that immediately became apparent that he was going to become kind of a pseudo father figure type for that particular character. But learning now that she is in fact Spock's adopted sister, I think just muddies the water a little bit. I think it's just kind of unnecessary, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I would prefer them to create a character that would stand on her own, that didn't need to be standing on the merits of Sarek and Spock, and that she could become her own thing and be her own person and not be weighed down by the history of who these other more iconic characters are. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. We'll have to wait and see until we see the show. And then, of course, the other big news, which is, you know, Kurtzman saying that they are aware of canon. No, you're not, in my opinion. I feel like you guys are kind of doing your own thing. You are rebooting the show, which, again, I don't care if you're rebooting the show. Just call it what it is. It's a reboot. We all know it. Everybody knows it. It's fine. You know, just, you know, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's a duck. You know, just call it what it is. It's, you know, that is what it is. Just get out there and stop trying to hide behind the fact that you don't want to use the term reboot because there was such big fan backlash against the JJ films, and you're just afraid of dealing with that same similar outcry. Just get over it, call it a reboot, and so we can all move and you guys can stop pretending like you give a about canon. Anyways, guys and gals, that wraps up today's videos. I am curious to hear what all of you have to say about this situation with Spock's stepsister. I know that's probably going to be predominantly what most people comment about, followed up by the Kurtzman remarks about them adhering to canon. So I'm curious to hear what you guys and gals think about it. I'm curious to hear what you guys, you know, feel about what I said. So please, if you did enjoy this video, please throw a like and a subscribe up on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter @RealCatWalski and follow me on Facebook.com/RealCatWalski. And I will catch all of you guys and gals next time. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies.